Hey, this is a response video to the Age of Aquarius and Mayan knowledge of heliocentricity. Um, I would probably rather speak more about the Age of Aquarius rather than the Mayan knowledge of heliocentricity, but I guess I'll touch on that towards the end of the video. So you brought up some very interesting points about the Age of Aquarius and about Aquarians themselves. I am one myself, and I just thought it was interesting how you said we had a almost inverted or traits of the opposite gender. Um, in other words, more feminine energy for males, or maybe physical feminine looks for males, and vice versa. So I thought that was very interesting. We're eccentric to say the least, I guess you could say. Knowledge seekers for sure. Um, and I guess more interestingly, what you've been mentioning in all of these different cosmologies, these ancient cosmologies, is the idea that we are headed towards um, some revolution in thinking, some kind of major transformation in the universe, some kind of end of one season, a transference, an evolution. There's so many different descriptions for it. Um, in one of the descriptions that I particularly liked and how it actually correlated with the Age of Aquarius um, is the idea of seasons as I think in Hindu cosmology or Hindu astrology there are these multiple seasons, and I forgot which one we are in now. I think we're in a Kali Yuga, and we're going to be going to Dwapara Yuga, which if you're familiar with that, which you probably have heard of this before, it basically is going to quote unquote elicit a greater transformation of consciousness, longer lifespan, more direct spirituality, and as the website described, and I'll have to find this website at some point. I think they might have changed the wiki page, but last year the wiki page described the next Dwapara Yuga as this amazing age of scientific inventions, um, long lives, and more spiritual communion. So I just like how this correlates to the Age of Aquarius, which talks about the same kind of thing happening. Um, well, I guess we can infer that the same sort of thing would happen. I'm not really a big student of astrology, but I am somewhat familiar with the basic ideas and the basic concepts that there are energies in the world, there are influences in the world that affect us, perhaps maybe not um, as observably to the empirical scientist as some other physical forces like gravity, but as I think either you mentioned in this video or the video before, a video before, that the moon actually affects our mood. So why wouldn't the planets in the cosmos affect our thinking, our feeling, our energy, our relationships, and our own makeup and development? So it's very interesting how all of these things sort of subtly are influencing us in ways that we can't measure with a modern perspective. And I think this all goes to the idea, as you mentioned in the latter half of the video, some kind of forgotten knowledge, some kind of piece of human potential that we left behind when the Western Spaniards burned the Mayan doctrines and burned their language and said they were heathenistic. What did we lose when we did that sort of thing? Um, what kind of knowledge about the universe and seasons and cosmologies and greater epics that seem to be accurate? As time goes on, we're beginning to learn that maybe these things aren't just some kind of relativistic myth of an ancient culture, but we're actually in tune with some kind of greater harmony of the cosmos. So I think that's a very interesting subject, and definitely we should question and try to understand how the Mayans knew what they knew, and how they came to the same sort of technical knowledge that modern science came to, but from completely different perspectives. I think that's fascinating, and it implies there are so many other ways that we could have developed, and so many ways that we still can develop and learn from the past by integrating these different cosmologies and the collective wisdom of the world that perhaps is altogether missing in the modern world. But yeah, I guess I would like to end my observations, reflections on your video here. But I guess as a general question, have you read Daniel Pinchbeck's 2012? And if so, I'd be very interested to see what you think of some of his ideas, because he um, is a big advocate of what uh, forgotten knowledge, forgotten esoteric teachings, the wisdom, perhaps, of shamanic practices and ancient religions and ancient civilizations, things that we may have forgotten, ancient technology, ancient worldviews, ancient views of time and space that may have been onto something that um, human culture now is missing or lacking. So I don't know. I'd just like to get your opinion on what you think of these kind of ancient religions, and what do you think of Pinchbeck? What do you think of Pinchbeck's view of these sort of things? Because I know he's pretty big, at least in popular spheres. So yeah, thanks for the video. I found it very interesting, and speak with you soon.